Hey Spencer, thank you so much for joining me today. For some of the people who don't know you very well, I'm just going to introduce you as Spencer Barnabee, class of 2018 and CPA Media alumni. And actually now you're serving as an ambassador for the Media and Publications Center. So for some of the people in the CPA community who don't know you, can you just kind of tell me a little bit about yourself and what you're majoring in college?
So I'm a sports media major. I went to CPA since second grade, finished through high school, started broadcasting class there and fell in love with that class and loved sports as well. So I wanted to combine those two things into a major. That's how I got sports media. I went to Samford right out of CPA for 2 years and then transferred to Lipscomb and now doing sports media here.
So how did you get interested in studying media in college?
Every kid kind of plays a lot of sports growing up. I was similar to that. And I loved just the idea of sports and getting a taste of a bunch of different sports, but I didn't know how to kind of channel that passion. Obviously wasn't going to be a pro athlete. So once I discovered media arts class in high school and I fell in love with that in the realm of broadcasting, I knew there was a career for sports broadcasting somewhere. And so wanted to follow that passion. And really it's just what I love doing. And so I love learning about it. Anytime you can go to class and love what you're learning, it's always a bonus. And so that's what I want to continue as a career.
So Spencer, when did you kind of realize that media was your passion? Do you have any specific examples from your time at CPA and the media program that really sparked your interest in this field?
That's a tough one. There's a lot of good memories. I would say the LA trip comes to mind as right off the top of my head. There was just so many cool things we got to do there, touring all the studios. Warner Brothers, getting to see the Friends set, the Seinfeld set. There was just so many memories just as a group with all the friends, all of us learning about stuff that we all love to do back at CPA, but then also getting a little insight into the industry and some of the different paths and careers there. That's probably the most memorable experience I had.
So Spencer, tell me one of your more challenging experiences being in the media field.
So at Samford, one of the things you get to do there, and is similar with a lot of smaller schools because they don't have these SEC networks coming in and doing their sports games. At Samford and other schools like it, it's all in-house production. And so I got to work with them, which was super cool, putting on the basketball, football games, stuff like that. But I would say one of the most challenging things was that itself, because in CPA at least, everything is sort of, you get to practice, you work on it for a week, and then it goes to air. This is all live production stuff. And so even if you're doing something as small as audio, however many viewers are watching can notice that.
How did the media program at CPA best prepare you to pursue this career path?
Most definitely. So when I first realized how much CPA prepared me was actually back in high school. Some of you guys may have gotten some letters like this. It's from an organization called Envision, and they do a bunch of different things around the country. And I had done a broadcasting workshop in New York the summer going into my senior year. And so we got to work with New York Film Academy, a bunch of cool places. And most of the kids there, all of them there wanted to do broadcasting in some form or fashion. But a lot of them there didn't know how to use Premiere, didn't really know how to work a camera, didn't know Photoshop. And I was coming in very much ahead of the game. And I didn't expect to be. I didn't think I was super advanced in anything. And so that's when I realized, okay, CPA's really got a leg up here. And then senior year, diving in even more was great, learning a lot. And then getting to college, a lot of those beginner courses are learning how to do Premiere, learning how to use a camera. And having already known that knowledge, it was very helpful and also gives you a leg up maybe in interviews or a job on campus if you're going for something like that. So CPA is very much ahead of the game, definitely prepares you.
So Spencer, going to CPA in Samford and now being at Lipscomb, how would you say your faith has intersected with your work in media?
It definitely did. Samford and Lipscomb, both Christian universities, I didn't plan on going to a Christian university. Faith was something that was definitely important to me, but I didn't think I needed to go to a Christian university to pursue that. It just kind of happened. But it definitely plays a factor when you get to a college. Even private Christian schools like Samford and Lipscomb still has a lot of diverse people from different backgrounds. They're not all going to think like you. And a great example of that is actually the production manager for ESPN in Samford for the local thing wasn't a Christian, and I had chapel a few times, I had a Bible study, and I had to miss a few things, and he was kind of a little confused. He's like, well, this is ESPN stuff, why would you be missing for just like a Bible study? And so then you just kind of got to take the time to explain that's something that's important to you. And it was cool to get to share something with him that I hadn't really had to share with many people. I hadn't really been challenged on my faith. a ton. And so that's just a cool example of how even in that industry, just getting to share a little bit of it and prioritizing what's important to you.
What advice would you give current media students who may want to follow in your footsteps and pursue a media career in college just like you?
Yeah, I would say the biggest thing with sports broadcasting and really broadcasting in general is it's not just a career or a major you can do just in the classroom. So you can't just go to class, take your notes, and then maybe check off your homework assignment and be done. It's definitely something that has to be pursued outside of the classroom and on your own time, whether it's in YouTube, figuring out how to get better at Premiere, figuring out how to be a better writer. That's always something I've struggled with, and I've always heard from every broadcaster that you have to be a good writer. So anything like that, just outside the classroom, just on your own practicing, you really have to have a drive and a determination to want to do it. I didn't realize that till a lot later than I would have liked. So definitely if kids at CPA can hear this, just know, and at CPA, you get a great experience of that, getting to stay late with Mr. Ellison, finishing the news or whatever projects you do. That's definitely very symbolic of what it would be like in college. Maybe the class schedule is a little different, but you definitely have to be willing to work on your own time and get better. I would say this may not be super mind-blowing, but is the writing piece of it. Just because I always knew I wanted to do something with broadcasting, preferably on air, if that's radio, television, whatever that is. And I always just thought, okay, it's about communicating, being a good speaker, being knowledgeable about the subject. But hearing every single person in the industry I've talked to, on-air people, they all say writing is a big part of this, and you can't be a good broadcaster without being a good writer. And so that's when I really started to take advantage of those classes in college. You have some writing classes, some journalism. And I always just thought, okay, I'm not a good writer, I'll just pass the class. But really learning about AP style, learning how to write a story, be a good storyteller is definitely a crucial part of it. And it's something I didn't expect going in.
Well, Spencer, that's all the questions we have for you today. Thank you so much for joining us again back in the media studio, and we'll talk to you again soon. Have a great day.